Hi. So, what is truth? So, what does truth do? So, in the other podcast or the podcast that the podcasts that I've done before, I talked about what C.S. Lewis said and the things that C.S. Lewis talks about, referring to what truth defines and what truth can do. Truth, truth is really like, for instance, if you to have deception, if you to have angriness, madness, deception, those are all a part of how not just truth is defined, but how you include or contain truth to be revealed, how to unravel, unveil, reveal. Truth is really hard to understand, but I'm gonna read you these quotes that I have here that I have with me. And John Locke says, "It is one thing to show in man that he's in error, and another to put him in possession of truth." So truth basically is like something that is not error, but is caused from error to come out or reveal out or to be spoken out or to be spread or to be talked or to be uh, to come out from your mouth or to come out from your heart, and feeling embarrassed or feeling nervous or feeling uh, signs of forgiveness according to being caused from error or mistakes or caused from mistakes. And John Locke really describes it and says that it is one thing to show a man that he's in error and another to put him in possession of truth. So if you have error or if you have mistakes, those result to come speak out or to let out truth. Truth meaning whatever is from deception or from denial that need forgiveness or from hatred or from frustration or from madness or from sadness or from stress or anxiety or burdens or whatever you are struggling or whatever you're lacking to be spoken out or to be unveiled or revealed out according to defining truth and to positioning how truth where truth comes from and how truth is shown. And it's through our errors, it's through our mistakes, it's through our problems, it's through whatever we may be going through that is of error, that is of a mistake, that is of what lying and stealing and deception and denial. Those reveal out, or those speak out truth, or whatever that contains and it is included upon truth and among truth and within truth, to come be spoken out, to come be released out of our mouth or our lips, a sign of causing our errors, our mistakes, to be able to be what we are made purified from, or made cleansed, or made forgiven from, you know? Because that defines truth and how truth contains everything of our mistake, of our error, and reverse it or to overturn it into speaking something that is of forgiveness, that is of not just of a regret, but of a forgiveness and a continual understanding of how love and kindness and respect and unity is to be greater, greater measure to be what only is produced out of forgiveness, only is produced out of regret, only produced out of feelings and emotions and manners of nervousness or of a freedom from burdens and stress and doubts and anxiety. But that because those are all included and contained a part and among and within truth and how truth sets us free and to making our errors or mistakes or whatever we may be feeling of a error and of a mistake to be regretted, forgiven, and to be made and to apply forgiveness of living in love, of living in unity, of living in a heart to res- have respect and want respect and to be supportive out of whatever may be leading stress or burdens or whatever we may lack or whatever we may struggle to be overturned. of how we define truth, how we live to understand and define truth, and whatever that contains, that is included, applied within truth. Thomas Carlyle says, "Can there be any more horrible object in existence than an eloquent man not speaking the truth? Elegant man speaking the truth?" So you gotta understand, truth is very important to speak, but yes, it may be hard to speak once there is regret upon it. There's nervousness, embarrassment, feelings, emotions, matters of regret or nervousness or embarrassment or feelings that are not of yours that lead to having regret, leaving making you have regret, making you feel a type certain ways or types of ways that are not of yours, that are a part and among to be contained and included within truth, and how truth can give you the ability to have forgiveness, want to be able to need forgiveness and have forgiveness and produce out unity, love and kindness and respect and supportiveness out of whatever it is. Truth can set us free, or truth can forgive us upon our regret, upon our doubt, upon our stress, upon our worries, upon whatever we may be struggling and going through, and solving it or situating it into seeing unity, love, respect, and supportiveness out of it. Because you gotta understand, if you lie, if you cheat, if you lie, or if you have denial or deception, or yes, there's feelings of regret, or there's feelings of nervousness or embarrassment that comes upon the body or the mind once truth that is spoken out is revealed to be able to cause regret, or to cause embarrassment, or to cause forgiveness, or cause nervousness, or cause feelings and matters and emotions of producing forgiveness and leading to have forgiveness, because forgiveness isn't an easy thing to produce out of the mouth once truth needs to be spoken out within lying or deception or denial, because because lying or deception or denials are to produce out forgiveness in regret, forgiveness in whatever it is that may sound bad or negative or wicked, or whatever that needs to be cleansed, to be overturned into unity, overturned into loving kindness and supportiveness of of having forgiveness and wanting forgiveness out of regret, out of whatever it is you may be going through and feeling, going through and experiencing, to be able to produce forgiveness out of it, produce not regret, but have regret to produce forgiveness, have regret to produce supportiveness, a willingness to have to be kind-hearted, tender-hearted, in and what regret or forgiveness or a heart to forgive, a heart to regret can show and can prove to show and can prove to demonstrate, that contains and includes upon truth being spoken out and being demonstrated out among and upon within forgiveness, that no person can build but of our own intentions, that our intentions are not ugly, but it starts first ugly, but then it produces, or it ends sweet, or it starts to produce to fade the bitterness, or the fade whatever that is sour or bitter, and it becomes sweet, and it produces out sweetness out of the bitter, or out of the sour that is faded, or that is to be fading. Because you gotta understand, truth reveals out or results into causing regrets and forgiveness and kindness and respect and supportiveness out, to be produced out, or to be revealed out, to be shown out, proved out, or demonstrated out of whatever truth can do, and signs of having forgiveness, and signs of having regret, and signs of having to want to be kind-hearted or tender-hearted, and love and kindness and respect and peace and comfort out of whatever whatever truth can reveal out, or truth can prove out or demonstrate out, you know, out of deception, out of denial, out of bad and evil, out of whatever regret and forgiveness can only do upon and among whatever is contained of truth. For truth causes forgiveness, truth causes whatever is a part of deception or denials, or lying and whatever else, to causing forgiveness, to causing regrets and forgiveness to be able to be gained upon having a new beginning, new life, new start, new beginning, new mind, new thought, new way of living life, and to speak, not just speaking out, but declaring out and discovering out what truth can greater do upon and among forgiveness and regrets. The fruit of what you eat is very important, or the fruit of what you produce is very important because your fruit is it good or is it bad? If it's bad, you got to know how to overturn it into good. And if your fruit is good, then you got to know how to have consistency in letting that fruit that is good be able to be plentiful, blossom, and multiply to being continually good or consistently being good and to become good consistently. Because it's very important to have consistency in how we have love and kindness and respect out of whatever we feel regret for, madness, sad, embarrassment, anything that is a part of hatred, or thinkings, or manners, or emotions of a hate, or attitudes of hatred, or things that are against or anti of love and kindness and respect and hatred, and to overturn it and with love and kindness and respect out of those types of feelings and emotions and manners of living, of behaviors and emotions and expressions, to seek truth, to want truth, and to have truth, to produce forgiveness, to produce loving kindness, to produce a heart of forgiveness, a heart of love, a heart to love, a heart to be kind-hearted or tender-hearted. Because the fruit that we have needs to be able to consistently be good and consistently be great and consistently need to be the best out of sadness, out of madness, out of things that may lead to struggle and like to have hatred or deceptions or denials or lying or greed or bitter attitudes or intentions, and to produce or to break through and break out with love and kindness and respect and supportiveness of letting everything that may be anti to become not anti anymore, but of a positivity, but of a love and kindness and of respect and of trying to turn something that is of a non-forgivable manner or attitude or emotion or expression to become forgivable upon the sight of Christ and upon what God can only make open to forgive. Forgiveness don't come from the people. Forgiveness is something that is built upon you that you show yourself so that you can forgive that person or you can forgive that individual or you can forgive that group. Forgiveness don't come from that person. Forgiveness comes from you. You having the heart to forgive, to being kind-hearted, to being tender-hearted, to be able to have a heart to have regret and to forgive. Not forgiveness and causing you to faint and fall short of the glory of God or whatever is a part of growing to have the fruits of the Spirit and having the love of God and the heart of God and the grace and mercy of God to be able to produce out of the fruits of the Spirit and to activating whatever may be nonsense that comes from deception or denial or lying and reversing it in a forgivable way, in a kind-hearted way, in a tender-hearted way. Truth, the fruit of our, the fruit of what we do really matters because truth don't come from anybody but of the Lord's. And truth sets us free to getting not just free, not just to become free, but understanding the aspects of how truth can bring kind-heartedness, tender-heartedness, forgiveness, kindness, regret, unity, supportiveness, love and kindness, respect, a heart to a a manner of a manner to, a manner of a heart to care, a heart to respect, a heart to live a life that is not concerned with anything but that produces truth to overturn and to bring love and kindness or care or unity, you know? Forgiveness is very important in how truth is speaking out and how truth is represented to work among and upon and within whatever lying or stealing or deceptions or denials can struggle or lack out of truth or with or whatever that is included within truth that is lacked or that is struggled to build to gain back up a heart to love, a heart to care, a heart to respect. All the fruits that need to be plentiful and multiply to be looking plentiful and to blossom and to look beautiful and to look great and good. To contain it and to have the consistency of it to grow and to gain and to be built out of denial, out of deception, out of things that need to be forgiven and that need to be a true attitude to be a part of forgiveness, loving kindness, kind-heartedness, tender-heartedness. Truth can be defined in different ways, but truth is hard to define and we can't understand how truth. Okay, so truth is defined as this from the Oxford Dictionary: the quality or state of being true, or there's similarities. That which is true or in accordance with a fact or reality, or a fact or belief that is accepted as true or reality, or that is actually something that is true or does appear to be true and is actually done to be able to be provable or to be able to be evidence or to be able to be demonstrated to be evident. But the deeper meaning from Britannica is truth and metaphysics or philosophy of language, the property of sentences, assertions, beliefs, thoughts, or propositions that are said in ordinary discourse to agree with the fact or to state what is the case. Truth is the aim of belief. False falsity is a fault. Falsity is a fault. Meaning, if the property of sentences, assertions, beliefs, thoughts, or propositions are said in ordinary discourse to agree with the fact or to state what is the case, is the aim of belief. Meaning, truth aims to be real, to be factual, to be able to state something that is true and something that is with honesty, or that includes honesty, or that contains honesty and to contain a heart that a heart to have a heart to be kind-hearted and tender-hearted in containing honesty and to having honesty and to gaining honesty out of what truth can do or what true or reality of what truth can do and bringing or containing honesty, because falsity is a fault, meaning a a life that is false, meaning you wanting to be a billionaire or you wanting to be a millionaire or you wanting to be able to be a debt free person, but you don't even pay your debts. Those are false information. Those are false expressions and manners and attitudes of living false or acting false or behaving or expressing false and trying to act like you got all good things settled upon you when you don't. Like for instance, I'm gonna pay my debts by the end of May or the end of March or the end of April or the end of this month or by 2 weeks. Or when the 2 weeks come or when the month or when that specific month comes, you didn't even pay your debt. Only some of it or a half of it. Or partially or partly or half or partially. That's a part of that's a part that contains to be included upon and among falsity or falsehood and causing you to not speak truth or to be honest in actually and actually giving your debts to be paid or to be forgiven or to be like what you don't even deal with or go through with anymore because it's a part of truth. When you state something, you got to be able to do it, and you got to be able to prove that it actually is evidently done or demonstratively done, so that you don't have to have a burden of like regret or restriction or restraints upon what you can try to freely do. That is a man, because that's the matter of falsity or falsehood that builds to causing restrictions or restraints or resistance for something you try to pay or you try to do, but you can't because of the debt you had or because of whatever you may be going through and facing through as a burden or as a stress or as whatever you got to pay to free whatever it is you got to be free from, because it's all a part of falsity that is a fault or that is a part of building resistance or causing resistance to come upon you or to be built upon you or to be established upon whatever it is that you are not confident or don't have clarity in, and to rebuild and to build it and to let it flow within your body or the expression of your mind and of your thought and of your manner. Therefore, truth is that which conforms to reality as it perceived by God. He knows all things exhaustively, and so we can trust anything He reveals in Scripture. Truth is not defined by our own subjective standards. It is determined by the source of truth, it's Himself. Truth, which is Jesus Christ, or truth, which is God, talks to reference and to refer into letting the reality of truth, of honesty, of regret, of forgiveness, of a forgivable statement, or a forgivable truth to be able to be gained or to be able to be built upon our reality or whatever is real and true and that contains that includes honesty, love, kindness, kind-heartedness, or tender-heartedness. Subjective standards. It is determined by the source of truth Himself, which is Jesus Christ, God and Lord of Himself, which is truth and of truth. In the beginning was truth, and the Word was truth, and the Word became truth and was truth and has been truth. Because truth is something that is real, honest, and can be demonstrated to be able to work in real and reality that can be able to be proven in reality that is not struggled or lack to causing embarrassment or doubt or regret that causes you to stumble or to struggle or to lack or whatever emotion it may be that you go through or live through. There are 7 varieties of truth: physical truth, historical truth, narrative truth, poetic truth, manufactured truth, judicial truth, existential truth. Existential truth. And these refer into talking about the types of truth and the ways truth is represented. There's physical truth, meaning what the body represents or describes or demonstrates as truth. Historical truth, meaning truth that comes from history, meaning whether it's the Bible or whether it's from the government or whether it's political or whether it's from histories of like the Anglicans or from like when John Smith or when whatever Smith like settled in England and then come in to discover America or discover whatever we call today as New York City or New York itself, you know? And then narrative truth. Narrative truth meaning like uh maybe like a scene or a story or a scene or a story that reveals truth or that shows and proves or to demonstrate or to evidence truth to be like shown out. It's like a story or it's like a scene or a story that is not written but like can be like pictured or painted in our minds that reveals or that describes or that unveils truth. Poetic truth is truth that may be like spoken out in rhythm and rhyme, whether from music, whether from songs, or whether from poems written by like read for instance Shakespeare has a lot of like poems that are poetic or that has rhythm, that has rhymes or rhythm. And then manufactured truth is truth that is basically manufactured, meaning it is built built upon built upon something, but that other something don't do anything to unravel, unveil, or to show out, or to like, or to reveal out, or to seek, or to prove out, or seek out how truth is like said. And then judicial truth. Judicial truth is like, for instance, when you go to court and they talk about your case, and then all of a sudden you feel embarrassed, nervous, regrets, wanting to seek forgiveness or have forgiveness, but you're guilty. Your guilty conscience or guilty judgment is made upon the judge that that sees you as guilty and not innocent. That can be one way judicial truth is said to be done or decided. And then God's judicial truth. God's judicial truth is, oh, you're gonna be lying about, oh, I preach the gospel, I talk about Jesus to people, I say I do miracles, I do this, I do that, but Jesus looks at you and it's like, oh, you didn't do it. Oh, and you're gonna lie about it, or you're gonna have denial in your lips or in your mouth, or lie in your mouth and your lips, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I did it," or "I did it," "Oh, I did in your name miracles," "Oh, I did this in your name," "Oh, I talked about you," I spread the gospel," "I did this," "I did that." That's a part of judicial truth, judging something based upon if it's actually true and you actually did it when you didn't. And it, and one number one, judicial truth is basically like judging what is correct and judging what can be the result or the consequence of either being innocent or either being guilty or either being accepted or being denied into having honesty and living in honesty and being in honesty. Existential truth is something that exists to be true, but is not referred as true, but is proven to be true. For instance, oh, the grass is green. No, the grass isn't green. You see the grass is green cause look at the ground. Look at the grass. It is green. God created the grass to be green. It has been green. Yes, if we cut it, it may be a different shade of green or color of green, but it's still green because grass is always green according to how God created it in creation. Existential truth. Like for instance, oh, there's a rock. No, there's not a rock. There is a rock. Or oh, there's a branch right, or there's branches right there, or there's a tree right there, or there's flowers right there, or there's dandelions right there, or there's sunflower right there, and you deny it, or you're in denial and say and not accepting it, or saying no to whatever exists, or to whatever created that exists. Like for instance, if there was a rock, or if there was a dandelion, or if there was trees or branches that or logs that were there already to already exist, you do the opposite of it and say no, it doesn't exist. You're saying things that are non-existent, existent, meaning things that do exist. You say the opposite of it and say it doesn't exist. For instance, oh, the weather is sunny today. Yeah, cause there's sun. But if you cause it to let it be non-existent, You could be like, oh, it's sunny. No, it's not. The sun's not even there. Uh, it exists. You don't see the sun right there? The sun is right there in in front of your eyes, in front of your eyes, in front of your sight, in front of your vision. Why you do not see it? It exists. You know, to lie or to have deception or denial in what exists, to be true, to be factual, to be real. When you talk about or describe it as something that does not exist or isn't real or is real but denies it or have deception of it to not be real or to not become real, it is real. But why you call it not real? There's sun, there's water, there's river, there's pond and lakes and creeks. But why you say it doesn't exist? Why are you denying the fact that there's no ponds and waters and lakes and rivers and creeks when when within your eyes or within your vision it is real to come true and to be true and to be there? Things that exist are noticed or knowledge to not exist or to become not existent, not existed when it surely does exist, when it is in front of your eyes or your vision or your sight. Existential, relating to existence, concerned with existence, especially human existence as viewed in the theories of existentialism, of a proposition affirming or implying the existence of a thing. It, so the two things that I talked about is a part of philosophy and logic. Logic is so logic, like, oh, there's a tree, oh, there's a branch, oh, there's logs, oh, there's leaves, oh, the grass is green, oh, there's a pond, oh, there's a sewer, oh, there's a this, oh, there's a that. It's real and it's in our eyes, in our sight, that is real and that is visible, and you call it to not be existent and to deny the visibility of it and to deny something that may be visible did not become visible or did not be seen as visible. To what is visible to not be visible, or to what blinds you, or to what may be visible blinds you of seeing as visible, and to denying the visibility of it or the existence of it, or the reality, or the being real. Because that's what our vision, because that's what whatever exists is denied, or whatever is in front of our eyes or in front of our sight is denied at, or is made denied, or is proven to be denied, or shown to be denied, or demonstrated, or evidence to be denied, which cause what existent means to not become what lacked or struggled upon and among and within our eyes. Whatever we see that is true or visual or visible or visual to be lacked or to be struggled. The existence of something that is struggled or that is lacked, but it may exist to be true, but is lacked. You know, for instance, oh, there's an animal come. Oh, for instance, at night, oh, there's a deer. There's a deer passing by. Oh, there's a deer passing by, and you say there's no deer, there's no animal, there's no raccoon, there's no this, there's no that passing by. The eye see it, but the mouth speaks of deception or denial quicker than what the eyes can see. The eyes can see that there's an animal in front of you, on the road, but the mouth speaks quicker of deception, of denial, of saying no into what may be coming in front of you, to be visible or to exist, to live in denial or to speak of denial or of deception. So you got to be cautious and careful about truth is explored, discovered, spoken of, and is revealed and unveiled, because something that we see through our eyes or through our sight can be just denied, or just can be decepted. You know, something that is true can be said as something that is not true. Something that is supposed to be that is proven to be seen in our eyes. For instance, oh, I see a birds. No, there's no birds. You like if you hear birds and you know that birds exist, you would have known through sound. One of the five senses is sound. The five senses is sound. And so sound, and then after sound is eyesight or visual or sight or visual, and to be able to see it. But if we don't hear it first and then we see and then don't see it, you're gonna be like, oh, it's not existence. It's not even existing. And to deny the existence or the proof that birds are real or birds do exist or birds or to visually or to visibly see a bird once we first hear it and then we see it. How do we see it? They fly in the sky or they make a chirping sound. To chirp and to catch our ears' attention first before our eyes does, before our sight, before our visual does. You know? So that's what I'm trying to talk about and trying to say. Our eyes can see it, but if our other senses like our hearing or our touch or our feelings like from the wind or from the breeze, when it doesn't feel it or when it doesn't like acknowledge it, we can lack it or we can struggle it. So it's very important. Whatever exists needs to be able to not just be exist to be seen from our eyes, but to be heard or to be able to be felt or to be able to be experienced and encountered. You know, because it comes hand in hand. Whatever exists needs to be able to be heard, touched, encountered, experienced. It comes hand in hand, and how existence is is described and to be determined to be a part of truth and to be what makes truth to be visual to bring truth to be visible or to be or to exist to be a visual to become a visual in disguise, not in disguise but in reality, you know. For instance, whatever exists okay, uh oh, there's a squirrel outside. Oh, there's a bird outside. Oh, there's a cricket outside. Or there's fireflies outside. Those are what exists because we don't just see it, but we hear it through our hearing or through our ears. Whatever exists, yes, it can be seen, but more of it comes through the hearing, comes through the feeling, comes through the encounter, the experience, more than what the eyes can see. Yeah, you can hear it, you can experience it, you can encounter it. The eyes will sometimes not be quick enough to know it's there, but it is there through hearing or through our other senses. So truth, what I'm trying to say is truth exists, but if we do not know that it exists, that it exists, then you're like through like eyesight, then our ears have to know that it exists, or our mouth, or our hands, or feelings, hearing. Many of our other senses have to be able to know that truth exists and to and to have and to know the determination of how truth brings existence of something that needs to be reality and needs to be uh foundation as reality, because something that exists has to be like, for instance, there's a fire. No, there isn't a fire. No, that's deception. but but not knowing that there's a fire is another thing, you know. Knowing there's a fire and denying it, and not knowing there's a fire, and not knowing there's a fire, and not and not even knowing it because you don't see it or you don't know about it, is two different things. Knowing that there's fire and denying it, and not knowing there's a fire and just discovering it, those are different things that causes truth to be unveiled or to be revealed. For instance, for instance, oh, is there? Okay. There's a there's this good one. Okay. So let's say you were doing Christmas decors or just Christmas decorations or whatever decoration for whatever seasonal holiday or seasonal occasion. You're gonna be like, oh, there's this light, oh, or this decoration, or this thing, or this that, and you're gonna be like, oh, I can't find it. I don't see it. I know that it's there. Why are you lying? People would be saying that, if you were to decorate a house for like a birthday or a house for like Thanksgiving or a house for like whatever occasion or whatever, if you lie about something that does exist, that reveals our truth because the evidence is there, but you say no or deny the existence of it if it's hard or if it's tough or you just don't want to bother using the efforts to preparing and setting up and constructing the thing that evidently is there to deny that it's not there because of struggles or lack of motivation or inspiration. I've been talking about existential truth long enough. So let's go back to the topic of truth. And so truth really defines us and to say and to showing us, yeah, if it's there, it's there, and you can't deny it. Whether it's from a table, whether let's say you were to be asked like where is a stapler or a drill gun or a screw or a flathead screwdriver or a whatever type of screwdriver, and you say I don't know where it is, but it's like actually in the toolbox uh, in the garage or toolbox of wherever you placed it in, wherever it's located and placed at. Those are not lying. It's just you not knowing where it is and denying the location of where you place things, you know? But the opposite is, oh, where's the drill head? Oh, I don't know where it is. And then you lie, and then you get it, and then you know where it is, but you lie to to prove or to show where it is, or to say where it is, or to state where it is. For instance, where's the knife to cut the watermelon? Or where's the knife to cut the papaya or to cut whatever fruit it is? And you gave it to it, but you lie where you put it. That's denial out of demonstrating or proving that it's there, or that it's real, or that you have it. You know, not telling the location, but showing where, but showing that you have it, or proving that you have it, or demonstrating an evidence that you have it. When you lie about the truth, or when you lie about where it's located at, where its location is at, where it's placed, where it's located at, positioned at. Let's say you were at church, a house of worship setting, and you were to run production. Let's say that they were talking about where's the camera, and then you lie about the camera, but you have the camera on, holding in your lap, or 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 upon your body. Those are a part of deception or denial, and not telling the location, but demonstrating where you have it within you. You know, for instance, oh, where is the foldable chair for eat to eat? It's there, but you lie and say it's it's somewhere else. But in reality, just because you don't want to tell the location or where it's positioned or placed at or in or then, you say it's somewhere else. But it's right in front of their sight or right in front of their eyes or sight or vision or visual. But you say no, or you say something of the opposite to causing them to not see it once it's actually there in front of their eye, in front of their sight. But truth is hard to define, but truth is easy to define if we know that truth not just comes through Christ and it's from Christ. Meaning the truth of Jesus Christ, knowing that He saves us, knowing that He forgives us of our sins and of our wrongdoing, and it makes us acceptable, and why He gives us the ability to believe on in Him and know how our belief in Him doesn't determine to bring us lack, but to bring us confidence in how we are to not lack, and how He rescued us, and how to redeem us, and how He saved us so that we can become delightful in being His creation, His people, His body, His church that live to be in one accord, in one place, in one mind, in one thought, in one, you know, living lifestyle, mindset to Christ and within Christ and for Christ. That no work of the enemy or of Satan or of wickedness or of regret or nervousness or burdens and stress and anxiety cannot make us struggle or lack. For Christ is the God of salvation, redemption, and becoming our rescuer out of sin, out of wickedness, out of whatever we are forgivable of, because because that results in becoming truth and being truth according to biblical scriptures, biblical words, biblical confirmation that re- revealed or that results to reveal the outcome of truth and the reasons of how biblical words or biblical scripture releases or revealed or unveils truth of salvation and redemption, of Jesus being the only God and the only Lord of our life, that saves us and redeems us from anything that is anti of believing Jesus, and of being for Jesus, and being for Jesus, not against Jesus, and how He's the God of salvation and of all truth that is from Him and based upon Him and is within Him, of all the knowledge of truth and wisdom coming upon to be from Him and within Him, because because truth don't come from the world or the natures of the world or the manners of the world, but are from Christ and based upon Christ and within Christ, which the foundation of truth or the reality of truth or real the realness of truth is from God and from God alone. And truth don't separate us from the love of God, but it brings us unity. It brings us a togetherness that make us not forget or to leave how we trust God and how we have faith in God according to how truth is defined or contains and includes the love of God or the grace and mercy of God or whatever it is that refers or references to God being lovely upon and within truth.